I love power girls. A lot of women have power. Sometimes they don't express it. I'm here to push them to. Because when you buy a dress, you buy something which is empowering you.
Are you like a sartorial therapist?
In a way, yes. Therapist, concierge.
Would you suggest to young people to go into fashion? Do you feel that there's a space for everyone?
There is always space if you decide there is space. The only thing is you can't be lazy in fashion.
The debonair Alexis Mabille is a renowned French designer known for his innovative work in both fashion and interior design. He worked at prestigious fashion houses like Ungaro and Nina Ricci. In 2005, Alexis decided to launch his signature brand and found fans like Dita Von Teese, Katy Perry, and Lady Gaga, and turned the bow and the bow tie into the signature motif of his maison. What is your creative process in terms of how you build a collection?
It's quite egoistic, to be frank.
Different brands have their touch points, and yours from almost the beginning was the bow.
It's a coincidence. In the first collection, I didn't get any bow, but I was wearing bow ties. It was not so trendy in Paris. It was something a bit ringard. So many young students think it's just drawing and looking at models and doing shows. This fashion is not this.
Alexis, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to be with you. We've known each other for many, many moons.
Yeah, since a long time.
Since a long time. You have been on the couture calendar. Your label started in 2005, so you know couture like the back of your hand. Can you talk to me about what it is that has drawn you to couture? Why do you love about couture? Why is this your area?
Fact, couture came to me. I mean, because when I started in 2005, I was doing a unisex collection, which was more about pants and accessories. So it was very like a mono product because I was working for John Galliano at Dior for many, many years. And I think I really wanted to be very in one direction because before I was with Galliano and Hedi Silmane, so my mind was everywhere with a crazy life, which was very fun. But when you decide to leave everything to your own, you have to be very focused. I mean, it was what I was thinking at this time because after it changed. But, I mean, we started to do this collection about pants, which was fun because it was totally unusual for that timing. Starting to sell at Colette. We had like very fun clients around the world. We didn't do shows. It was just about lookbooks. And that's how we started with the bow tie, but we are going to speak later about it. Sure. And step by step, we got a lot of bespoke requests of clients. But it was not yet real couture because we were not in the calendar at the time. It was the beginning of the company. And step by step, after a few years, we inserted some shirts and the bow ties and other accessories. And then we opened the market to more like a full wardrobe for girls and boys. So during many years, we did like men and women all together with this crossing with unisex. And we started to get in couture, maybe like it was in 4 years later, I think, with Didier Grimbach. Step by step, like, because he's an amazing person and very curious about creativity and young designers. And we were, in a way, the only young company at this moment in Paris. Because it was not the concept in Paris to get like young designers. It was just like big brands. So everybody were looking at us in a weird way. And I mean, we started to do shows and step by step we get in the calendar as invited. And they offered me the possibility after to become member of the haute couture. So it was very like a process. I mean, but it came to us through the clients, in fact, because clients started to come to us because we were presenting during couture. But we were presenting our ready-to-wear. So we had like few years about like tricky moments with clients. We didn't understood about the pricing, but we started to do like more like exceptional pieces. And then at one point we were like, we have to do couture. So.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that I tell young designers, you know, it's like, it's not about doing that runway show. It's not about the press. It's about the clients. And I think that your longevity and your success, it's all about that relationship that you have with the clients. Can you talk to me about
I mean, for couture, it's very intimate, the relationship we have with clients. I mean, on the one side, the ready-to-wear, you sell to buyers or department stores who have their own choice. So they have their own orientation of your work, which is like matching with their shop, and you don't know the final client. With couture, you are in a daily conversation with them. They come to us at the showroom, We share about, well, of course, there is like the styles, but we do a lot of very specific styles for specific events, which sometimes are totally different than the show. The show is a palette to get a choice or to give a direction or to attract the sensibility of some people who have crush about what I do. So what is interesting is we are in a process of creation every time with emotivity, sensibility, because we work with women who have desires or sometimes no desires, or sometimes are just like complex with their body or with many different things. And we have to compose about this to make them absolutely beautiful and unique.
So are you like a sartorial therapist in some way?
In a way, yes. Therapist, concierge. I mean,
all of the things.
Yeah.
All of the things. We talk about legacy and, hallmarks for brands, and, different brands have their touch points, and yours from almost the beginning. I think the beginning was the bow.
It's a coincidence, in fact, because in the first collection, I didn't get any bow, but I was wearing bow ties. And at this time, I mean, in 04, 05, it was not so trendy in Paris. I mean, it was something a bit ringard. So, but in England, in America, in many countries, if you had like a party, a black tie party, you wore like a bow tie.
Sure.
In Paris, it was a tie because it was really not trendy. And I was thinking it was fun. I mean, this idea in unisex concept I had at this time, I was like, okay, in the history of costume, what is the crossing thing in between a men's wardrobe, women's wardrobe, and many times it's the note, the bow ties in the 19th century. And it was something very attractive in men's, in men's wardrobe, because it's like we were at this time like animals. I mean, kings were much more like decorated.
Very embellished, yes.
Very embellished with a lot of ornamental accessories, more finally than women's. And if you look at a duck, it's the same. The feathers are not the same color. So maybe there is something around in the story, about this. But when you look at the story, there is bows everywhere. And I was, okay, let's do something fun. In my unisex collection, it was the idea to get like the woman wardrobe, fantasy, and possibilities, which is wide, in the men's wardrobe. And to get for women like men's vibes, but which is not as exceptional because it's something that a lot of people did since Poiret, so a long time ago. But to merge something very specific. And for one season, I was, okay, let's do some bow ties, crazy ones. And we do an amazing lookbook with friends, singers, models, agents, or just interesting person with strong personalities. And we just send it to everyone. I mean, even the purpose was not about selling it. It was more something about the image and to push, the boundaries about this unisex concept. And it was a success. A bit too fast because we had to produce the bow ties we're selling everywhere in the world. But we got our kind of camellia. And this is great when you are a young company to get something very focused that everybody know. Sometimes you have to get out of this, but I mean we have the chance to have codes, and this is great.
You've seen the evolution of fashion. When you said that when you started, there wasn't really like you were doing ready to wear during couture, and it's actually something that I would always suggest to younger designers, like show during the couture because people are in town, and yet there are not a lot of competition in terms of the fashion shows. Like what? At this point in career, if you were to mentor the next generation or talk or give advice to somebody who'd want to come in and work in couture or work in fashion, what is your?
I mean, it's always difficult because everything is so different every year.
Sure.
And I mean, when I started, it was so different than today because it was with no social media, no real internet connections. Sure. It was very traditional. We were inviting some journalists who had to come or not come at the show. And if they come, they cover the show. And they could be absolutely difficult, absolutely amazing. So, I mean, it was more drastic than today. Today, you can do by your own, in fact. Media is important, but I mean, you can do your own media, which is very interesting. Because for magazines, it's it's a challenge too, aussi, to get this balance in between why to continue to buy some magazines. It's not the subject of today, but I mean for young designers who sometimes don't have, because it costs a lot to develop and to start collection and to use models. Because when I started in 2005, you could get like celebrity models for free, or you could like get arrangements with the agencies. Today, it's totally impossible.
Really?
There is controls, everything has to be square, there is contract for everyone. It's super expensive. So, I mean, a young designer who wants to launch a collection, if you don't have like a huge, even if it's a small budget for a lot of companies, but it's a huge budget for
a
him.
small independent designer,
and even if you have a prize from a contest from everywhere, it's not sufficient to do something very very strong. So you have to be creative, to be in the mood of what happened around, and to be strong, in fact. But if you love to when you have your story and you believe in you will do it. And you don't have to think too much about what the other want of you, which is sometimes a problem when you start. You want to please people, but it's not a good idea, in fact.
No, I agree. I mean, and then you have to have your own identity, because if you try and please everyone, then you
start to be basic, etc. And at least what people love is to have a crush or to be surprised. So, and even more in our world, we love to be surprised.
I mean, talk about crush. You and Dita Von Teese, it's been a meet cute crush situation since the beginning. She's been such a great ambassador to you. Can you talk to me about that friendship? It's been decades.
Yeah, we met before I launched the company in a party, and it was a Mick Jagger party in a nightclub, which is not even like it was an Avenue Georges V. I don't even remember the name of this. It was round. Maybe you remember with
I didn't get out much.
A huge ceiling here because we were working too much at this time.
I was working too hard. Yeah.
Anyway, I met Dita at this party. She was very shy. I was more shy in the past, so we were not speaking so much. But something happened. I was, she's amazing. She's so beautiful. She was not as famous at this time, so it was not a kind of celebrity attraction. And then every time she came to Paris, because we exchanged our contacts, she was calling me, and we started to be friends, in fact. And very quickly, because she knew I was a designer, she asked me to do things. She was buying clothes. I started to do some costumes for her for the show. Every time, like men costumes, which is fun. Because she loved this idea about the unisex identity from the early beginning of the collection. So that's why when we work on our show, it's always tailored, or with pants, or with something which is a link about this kind of Victoria style, very like Marlene Dietrich too. And for women costumes, she's working with Catherine Delich. So, which is another friend of Dita, who is doing like burlesque costumes since ever, and she was a burlesque dancer too in Los Angeles for decades. Yeah. So I mean, this crush was more like a normal like friendship, and she supported me a lot. I mean, we did many projects together, so it was. She's a jewel. So
she is.
So I'm always very happy to do things for her. So.
So Dita's clearly a muse. Do you have like a group of women that you're always looking to or inspiring you, or is the creativity always coming from within? What is your creative process in terms of how you build a collection? If you like this conversation, well then you clearly have got good taste. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and share the love. Because honestly, who wouldn't want a front row seat to fashion's best stories?
When I start a collection, it's quite egoistic, to be frank.
I would hope. Okay.
I do a lot of drawings, a lot, without thinking too much about who's gonna wear that or not, etc. And naturally, it creates some kind of families. And there is one thing which made me. I was amazed about Mr. Saint Laurent. When you looked around him. And he did, I don't remember which interview it was. He was speaking about his woman. We all know there is kind of very strong type of woman. But in fact, he had like a kind of little brunette, Parisienne, tall blonde, Twino, and Lulu, and so many other girls around him, which were like, they were not muse, but they were part of his process of creativity. And around me, I have the chance to have a lot of artists, a lot of interesting girls, friends, singers, painters, or just like lawyers, or with very strong characters. And I love that. So of course it's like food for me, because I'm always everywhere and I'm capturing everything because it's part of my job. And I even love to go in a hotel bar alone, looking at people around. It's very interesting to what you can get from that. And then I cross my drawings with my scenography ideas and this to create this kind of little world.
That's interesting. But it sounds like the women always have to have a strong character.
Yeah, I love power girls. But I mean, a lot of women have power. Sometimes they don't express it, but they have strong personalities. And this is important. And I'm here to push them too. Because when you buy a dress, and even more for couture, you buy something which is empowering you too. So it's a very strong relationship in between the clothes and you, and why to do couture. If not, you could be a collector. But many times when you wear that, you want to be an amazing creature.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. In your career and in your couture, what part does bridal come into play? I mean, most women, their only couture piece that they'll ever have, if they were to ever have couture, it's going to be their bridal stuff. And I know you've had some beautiful successes with in the bridal space. Is that a big part of what you do? Is that something you love to do? Like, does it differ from regular couture?
I mean, I don't do so much bridal in my collections because sometimes I think it's too it's tricky in a show, for example. But I love white dress. But many times I do white outfits which are not really bridal outfit, but I mean it's a huge part of the business in couture, of course. Yeah. So we have a lot of requests, and in the bridal you have the bridal, but you have the bridesmaids, and you have the mother and the sister. So it's not just about the main dress, and many times I don't work on bridal in a traditional way because after you are falling in a too classic concept. So I prefer to, when I work with a client on a bridal dress, I show her a lot of things, a lot of drawings, and I'm more like, tell me what you like, and then we're going to compose something for you. But it's not always about the veil, the embroidery, the big jupon, because it's beautiful, but it's not enough young in the process to get the twist. Even if at least it will be classic, but it needs a little twist to get something more appealing than all what you have on the market. Sure. So it's interesting but tricky. But it's a huge market too in the same time. I love when in a wedding dress something happens different. When there is a kind of super cool energy and the bride look happy and comfortable and she's dancing all the night, and I mean it's important in the process.
Yeah, and then it's not even, these days, it's not one dress, it's 2 or 3 dresses.
2 or 3, and it's not about like traditions, because before it was like certain region, you had like 4 days of wedding, in other one just 2 days, Europe was just 1 day, but now it's this craziness about like doing like 3-4 days of crazy parties. So you have like the main first dress, the engagement dress at first, the main dress, second dress, the day after, the lunch, Well, and many times we don't do all. I mean, what is interesting is for a client, is she's doing one dress with me, one dress with another company, and another look, because it's exciting for you when you have this event. If you believe in it,
yes,
it's the occasion to have fun.
You're just looking for a good party, yeah. 4-day party. How do you feel couture has evolved? It feels very international in a way that I don't remember it being.
It is international. The public is very international. We have French clients, but I mean, it's very international in a way that it's something which is like so well protected. Even if there is couture house in Italy, in Lebanon, in everywhere, we know there is beautiful houses with an amazing craftsmanship. But the label was so well protected by the federation and the institution in France. I mean, they kept something specific, which is like attracting so many clients, which is the couture week, the houses, the mix of kind of work, for different kind of taste, but also all what is around. Because when you do the Couture Week in France, it's a party time.
Yeah.
I mean, before COVID, it was, I think it changed. COVID changed a lot for couture, even if it was a transform before. It was not as, the happening was not the same. It was more like clients were coming, journalists were here too. It was a nice fashion week, very luxurious one, but it was not as crazy in terms of parties, dinners, presentation of high jewelry.
Yeah, the high jewelry aspect.
Specific events with no link with couture, but the stars are in Paris.
Exactly.
And I mean, something is happening a lot. And this is super, I mean, it's great because everyone wants to be here. So when you do something, it's an explosion of fun and creativity. But I mean, in terms of evolution, it's still very traditional because the way we work is super traditional, but the clientele changed a lot. Some clients disappeared.
Are you seeing a lot of younger clients? Are there...
a lot of younger clients, a lot of new rich area too, because I mean, the world is changing so much. I mean, the money sometimes is moving from one country to another one. And even in terms of culture, some of countries open more their mind, and you have new kind of customers who don't want to stay in their traditions and who are amazed about doing something different. And I mean, the new clients sometimes are much more like fun because they are so excited, about what they will get and why they pay so much for a dress. Because sometimes they don't even know about the craftsmanship before testing it. It's an experience. Because when you see sometimes a dress and you give the price, it's a bit like frightening. And when they understand about the time, the work, the pleats, I mean, so many hours inside of the dress doing details which make it perfect. Once they understand that, after they are like addicted to couture. So there is like different worlds. You have like traditional clients, which will have forever, I think. Their grandmother were clients, the mother were clients, and they start to dress the girls many times when they are like 8, 9, 10. So they start to understand. I mean, to do fittings, to choose materials with their mother, grandmother, etc. And then at 16, 17, they have their first parties, etc. And they will do the same with the children. So there is like areas in the world, they are so, how can I say, fidèle. They are so like close to the houses, and when they love you, you know they're part you're part of their family. It's more this. And after you have like fun people around the world from America, China, Greece, England, who sometimes they come just one time for a very strong event, or it could be a wedding or a very specific thing which is very emotional for them, or they just come because they are so curious about it, and because they have two the possibilities to get it.
Am I right in thinking that a large portion of your recurring clientele, or a big chunk of that now, is the Middle East, or
Middle East is strong. I mean, for all couture house, Middle East is a huge part of the clientele.
Has that always been the case, or is it more again a part of the shift?
No, I think it was always.
Really?
Maybe it started from the 70s, 80s, so it's not a new thing. I mean, it's not a new clientele. But the clientele is really young now. We have a lot of young clients from this region. And after, I mean, America is very strong. For me, more California. Because what I'm doing is conservative, but not so conservative. So it looks conservative from far, but when you
get
start,
it close to something, a little bit more of a party.
And I love to work on that edge, which is fun. And after, it's a bit everywhere in the world. So Australia, Canada.
But couture isn't your only love. I mean, from what I understand, you have an interior design. So So is it important that as a couturier that you have these other outlets, or was this, I want to try my hand at something else? Like, how did this other space of creativity come about?
For me, it was always, in my family, there is a lot of different, I got the chance, not to be pushed, but to be followed by my parents, of course, but by a lot of people who were creative people with very creative minds and very open to painting, music. So I got this, this facility with culture. And there is a lot of interior design in the family. So I had to choose, or not, I didn't have to choose, I chose to go to textile, fashion, because I loved it. But I always loved interior design. And I love the globality in between them because everything is linked, in fact. And since the beginning, I was always thinking I would love to be a kind of Ralph Lauren because there is everything.
Yeah, A to Z.
Women, men, interior design, accessories, and I was amazed about this. So for me, I was always playing in between. So fashion was very strong for many years in my life. It's still very strong because it's my main business. But step by step, I started to do projects around about with Baccarat, with alcohol company, or with a textile company. We did something with Colette. Which was not always with Gap, not always really in couture or in evening wear, etc. And I started to help clients to decorate their apartments. I was doing my own too, and I got press around this. And, naturally it came too. And the same story as couture, in fact. There is a little, something very attractive maybe with things I love, which helped me. So maybe I just have a little good star around me.
Yeah.
But when you love something, it's coming to you because it's passion. And I got the opportunity from very nice person who were like, you should do that. Let's try together. So I started to decorate a restaurant. I did scenography for Christie's and Sotheby's before Christie's. And it was very strong companies who believed in it. So I have to develop that. So I did it, and we did a lot of very cool plays, a lot of very festive plays too, because I love to go out, which is very important for me to feel what happened in the city. Because even if I do couture, and it's of course evening wear, and it could be it's not for everyone because not everyone is wearing an evening gown.
Not every day.
Every day.
Yep.
So for me, it's very important to capture what happened in hotel bars, restaurants, nightclubs. So I have this capacity to understand how it works. So naturally, when I started to do restaurants with MoMA Group or with Caspia Group, etc., it worked because I'm thinking like a client. It's a bit the same when I do a couture dress. Sometimes, even if I'm a man, I'm like, if I was a girl like this, what I would love to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's important, in fact.
Yeah, no, so you feel at home in those places.
To understand and to do things that you love. It's not just it's not a commission. It's of course it's a commission, but people came to me in interior design because they love my universe. And they are not afraid about it.
Okay, so I want to take things back, all the way back, because you mentioned how you came from a creative family. I haven't heard too much about your history growing up. Can you talk to me about how you actually got into loving this area and what it was about your family that was so supportive to be such a creative person, in all these different fields?
I'm from Lyon, which is a city quite bourgeoise, but with a lot of cultural things around. I'm from a very big family.
C'est-à-dire, what does that mean?
My grandmother was married with my grandfather, and the two sisters of my grandfather get married with the two brothers of my grandmother.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they were part from big families. When I say big, it's like 8 children.
Gotcha.
9 children, which is at this generation much more normal. And then they all got a lot of children.
Wait, so how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Alors, we are 4.
Okay.
But I mean, my mother, they were 9 children.
Oh, wow.
And my cousins, sometimes they were 6, 7. So, I mean, I have a lot of cousins, a lot of amazing personalities in the family. Wow. And we were almost all together because we had the chance to get 2 family house, beautiful houses, close together. So that's why they knew each other at the beginning of the century. In fact, it's kind of it's like a romance, in fact. And I mean, after the war in the 40s, they destroyed the wall in between the two properties.
Oh, wow.
To become just one big with 2 houses. So I mean, when you are this the chance to in my childhood to be in this kind of good mood with nice people. My grandfather was amazing, a very brilliant mind. He was a doctor, but very open to people. When there is joy, I mean, it's a chance. I didn't really. I discovered it when I arrived in Paris, when I was at school, and I was like, "Wow, people are rude with their children." And when I said to my parents, "I want to draw, I want to do to sew clothes, etc." I mean, they were not afraid. Because my father is doing too some drawings, but just for fun, because it's not his work. But he loved to draw some furnitures and even to sew and to do craftsmanships with his hands. He's very good at that. And my mother was a sewing lover too, and she loved fashion too. So, I mean, in all that little world, with painters, architects, musicians, and I think they were pleased with to have a little child asking them so many things, because I was always with them, because I loved when I was a child to be with adults. And I was sewing, painting, drawing, playing music, but I'm not good at that. But I mean, it was an interaction in between all my aunts and uncles and cousins, which in fact it gave me that. It came through them, in fact.
It sounds like a very joyful, loving, raucous.
Yeah, but still now, I mean, we have this chance. We are still very strong in between them, between us. My parents are still part of it. My mother loved to come for the show. She's working with us. I created the company with her in the early beginnings. I mean, there is this amazing relationship in between my sister is writing, because she's a journalist. She's writing my press kits. Okay. So and all my cousins come, and there is this.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair. Yeah, It's more Italian normally, but in France it happened too. But what I mean is, like, when you have this creative circulation around you, it's a dream. And when I discovered it was a dream and it was more a gift, I was like, wow, it's. I mean, the rudeness when I arrived in Paris, I loved it because I love this contrast in the city about beauty and complexity. But I was shocked because sometimes fashion is a psychotherapy in schools. A lot of people are not fashion designers after the school, but maybe they come to fashion school or art school to open their mind. And but it's very interesting to see in the world how people have children, but sometimes they don't care so much about them.
Would you suggest to young people who dream about coming into fashion to go into fashion? Do you feel that there's
of course
that it's open and that people are that
there's
a space for everyone?
There is always space if you decide there is space.
Okay.
The only thing is you just have to be strong and to not stop, because you can't be lazy in fashion. it's not working.
No, for sure.
And this is a mistake that so many young students think. It's just drawing and looking at models and doing shows. This fashion is not this. It's you have to build something strong, and you have to do mistakes, of course, because sometimes mistakes are so good. And it's building your style. But the only thing, you never stop working like crazy, because there is deadlines.
Always a deadline.
Always a deadline. Either for a show, either for a presentation, or for a contest, or for a client. It's all about deadline. And this is something very interesting in between different arts. And that's why fashion is fashion and is not really a art. It's a kind of, but it's not like buying a statue or a painting. It's because you live in it and there is deadline because it's commissions or orders, and it's a link in between it's a commercial and how can I express this in English? You see what I mean?
No, but I know. For me, it's also fashion. What's so wonderful about fashion is the fact that it touches all of these other. You can be a painter and not really connect to fashion, whereas fashion, painting, or sculpture, or cinema, or other kind of art forms, you're touching all of those different things at the same time. Whereas those other fields, maybe not so much. What right now are you really excited about or curious about? Maybe in work or in life, was there something that you're like super interested in?
Oh, what I love, there is so many things I'm interested in because this was always my problem. I love to touch everything, so I had to get back sometimes. I'm doing too much things to concentrate. But I mean, I live with that. But I mean, there is so many things in the city. So it's a kind of, and even I'm older now because the company have 20 years now. And it's a new cycle. I mean, there is new cycles, not every 10 years, but it happened. And there is new cycle. So I mean, since maybe 2-3 years, I'm in a new cycle. I let my creativity go sometime in things I didn't do before. I'm slicking everything too. It's less, what I do is less complicated. And I'm excited about this idea to let myself go a bit more,
go with the flow.
And I mean, we produce a lot, we draw a lot, I draw a lot, and it's a big work too. But sometimes the idea is like this, and to keep the freshness. So when I speak about being exciting in terms of creativity, so I do more projects. When I do my interior design too, I don't care about what people are thinking.
But isn't that important? Isn't that kind of key that you don't care about?
Yeah, it's super important. But sometimes, the world is pushing you with so many, not critics, but comments. And with social medias, etc.
It's even more intense.
It's even more intense because you are connected to the reality of what people think about your work, which can be amazing because you discover so many people who love you, which is great.
Yep.
But so many people who don't like you too. But which is fun too, because sometimes it's why it's like this? But why not? In a way, because it's the same for you or for me. There is things we like or we don't like, or people we don't feel good with them because there is sometimes electric tension. You don't even know why, but we are animals in a way. So I'm excited about so many things, but actually it's more about getting a new way, because so many things are turning and changing. I'm maybe it's a moment to let things go, to abandon a few things, to get in new directions, and to be very focused on what I just want to do.
And so when you say I want to focus on just what I want to do, what's that? What is the thing that you just want to do?
It's more in terms of graphism, style. It's not about what I have to do in the business, because we all have to, I mean, it's a business.
Yeah. No,
I'm not gonna say I will go in vacation for 4 months and buy it. I can't do that. But I mean, if I want to do just a very simple dress with just 2 pleats, I do it. Maybe 6 years earlier, I would not do that because I would be it's maybe not as Alexis Mabille. And what's the point? It will become.
It's all Alexis Mabille.
It will become because I did it, and it's my sensibility.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's great to take off all the decor and ornamentals to go back to the cut and to the body. As that don't mean I'm not gonna do one other dress covered with it, but
I hear you.
Well,
yeah,
it's more about this.
Okay, for you, when we are looking at this, this definitely feels like, for me, we've had these big shifts in fashion, like when Tom Ford, came on, and all of a sudden Alexander McQueen had his own house, and Stella McCartney had her own house, and there was this huge shift. And Kering came in. Well, it wasn't Kering at the time, but came in, and there was a big shift. And I feel like we're in this moment again where there's so many new houses, so many new designers, new brands. How are you feeling about this time in the fashion industry in general? At the same time, we're having all of these shifts. We're seeing so much of the fashion space. The results aren't as good. People are starting to pull back. Houses that have done or companies that have done really, really well for decades are now showing bad results. So it's this really tense and transformative time. But I'm wondering how you're seeing it, what you're feeling about it all.
I think it's the conclusion of this. It's because things have to change because the system is not working anymore, I think. Our couture is a bit different because it's a part, but I mean, ready-to-wear, department stores, shops, multi-brand shops, the way to, online shopping, all of these are interacting in a very dangerous way because one thing destroys the other one, and some of brands were too big and pushing creativity. When I say pushing, covering creativity of younger designers, because younger designers, it's always good for communication, but many times, nobody cares about them after that.
Yeah, you have that one news, there's a big news, and then they disappear. Yeah.
So that's why everything is merging. Actually, big groups are shaked. They have, but it's a result. They have to change the methods, to sell maybe less products, better quality, or doing more products with cheaper quality because they assume to do that. So just to change the designers, they did it a lot in the past years. But why they do that? Because they are looking for something where they didn't find yet. And it's the same with young designers, with all the contests in the school. When you see the style of what they do, it's very different, and it's very interesting because the styles are getting in so many ways. You have more classical things, crazy things which are very specific. But there is, the message is people want to shout. So when you see young designers doing weirdo, rude, dark clothing with no fantasy, or it's their fantasy, but which is not so...
It's not very uplifting.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you're going to wear a dress from a young designer from St. Martin's tomorrow, because it have to be... It's a concept of life, So they are strong because they want to express something. Because they are like sponge. They have all the problems of the world on them. And big groups, the fact is their clientele is they have the traditional clientele, but they have younger clientele, and this young clientele don't want to buy some of clothes sometimes, which are great for some of them, but not for the other ones. So it's very. I think it's interesting to see what happens. Me, I'm a bit apart because with couture, I can do a bit what I want. So. But you have to see that because some of clients from this generation are coming too, and when they come for a couture dress, they don't want the couture dress like their grandmother.
Of course, of course.
Because they're 14, and even if they are in a more they have the chance to have a good life. They can have their own revolution inside of them, and it's a way to shout by the colors they choose, or doing a bit more sexy. They are not allowed to do it so much, but they want to open a bit more the legs, and this I can see in the golf, the young generation, they want to show more, they want to express, and it's very interesting too, in a different way than what you see in Europe or in America or in England.
Would you say that this younger generation of couture clientele, besides those that it's generational and it's mother to daughter, etc., are they more educated about couture? Do they understand it better, or do they know more what they want than holding the hand in the past?
They know about couture because they were educated to couture, but they want to be different, and they want to be more sexy, which is sometimes a problem.
Yes.
So you have to find the tricks.
Yeah, that middle ground that satisfies everybody. Okay.
But it's fun because it's getting into couture too. And we have two men's clients. I have super eccentric clients. I have clients who just want like daily clothes that it's not an evening dress too, because couture is not just about evening. We forget that sometimes. Yeah. We do amazing long gown with chiffon and whatever, but I mean we do too like tucks or just like pinstripe coat or a nice skirt in a flannel. I mean this is couture too.
Yep.
But this is something which is lost. I mean, nobody communicates on that too, but we still have those clients, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like a great, well-cut, tailored suit. I mean, you can't deny it. As much as all of those flamboyant dresses are lovely to wear, you're going to wear that suit much more often.
And you will keep it forever.
And you'll keep it forever.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Alexis, let me ask you now the 5 generic fashion questions to close this out that I ask everybody. So what is your most prized possession, the thing that you cherish above all, that you would keep with you or you would travel with?
An object? Or?
An object, as you wish, whatever comes up when I say that.
Okay, something when I travel, that's like my gris-gris.
Your gris-gris, what is your gris-gris? Yes. What is your lucky charm?
It's, I don't have it today because I break it yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's a chain with a lot of lucky charms from different places. And they are all little gifts from friends, like a medal, my Baptiste medal, a little cross in rubies that a friend gave me, another like medal from Greek, antique Greek, from another friend, and I have all together.
So it's like a chain of memories.
They're with me around, so I travel every time with that.
Okay, love that.
It's a kind of protection, maybe.
Yeah. Talisman. All the love. So buying couture or even buying luxury ready-to-wear, for a lot of people, it's something you have to save up for. It's something that you have to put aside money for. If you were to suggest, what is the piece that you would recommend that someone really like invest in, put the money aside and really buy this?
I think it's not always a timeless piece. I think if you go for one time in couture, you have to buy like a collector, as if you were buying a painting or a piece of furniture. Buy something strong, amazing, that you will wear or not, but something which is like very specific.
I like that. Yeah, no, I mean, I have pieces that I couldn't even fit into anymore, but I would put them up on my wall because
you love them so much,
and I do
because
love them
it's
so much.
Because you love to watch it. So.
Yeah, to look at that and appreciate the craftsmanship, for sure. What trend will you never follow?
Strong minimalism.
Strong minimalism.
Yeah, I'm a Barocco minimalist.
Minimalism is definitely not the word I would associate with you. But
no, even fetish is not something. I mean, I love the idea about so many developments, and I worked so much with John Galliano on those transforming fetish in Dior classic. But this is not a direction I love too. Darkness and minimalism.
Okay, no fetishism, no darkness, no minimalism.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's very clear to what you like and what you don't like. Who is your favorite designer, living or dead?
Alors, there is different ones. The first one is Christian Lacroix.
Yes.
And I got the chance when I was very young. I was sending letters to designers because when you're young in Lyon, I thought it was normal to do that, which is totally not normal. But so I sent a letter to Christian Lacroix, and during maybe 3 years, we're exchanging letters every month.
Stop it.
Sending a letter, he was sending back letters with a drawing. So I have a few drawings of him at home. And I was drawing in my letters, adding some lace and so.
And this
there
is
when something
Christian was like at his peak and his brand and all of the things, and that
and pushing me to do this school and this one, and pushing. Yeah, it was so nice. It was not like huge letters, but telling me you have to, if you want to do that, you have to do it. It's amazing. Send me some drawings, etc. And after that, I was too shy at this time, so I didn't push too much. And I met him in a dinner, much longer.
Many years later?
15, maybe 10 or 15 years later. And he was so nice with me.
All right.
But I was still very shy because he is so... I love so much his work. Sometimes it's ridiculous the shyness we could get.
Sure.
I was too much fan. And I would say Gianfranco Ferré
Tell me more.
I
think that he's under. Sorry to interrupt, but I think that he's sadly forgotten by a lot of people, and he was
and he was doing so beautiful
things. Yeah,
I mean, all his shirts, all those volumes, very specific of sleeves and collars. It was really an architect in terms of cut and the lightness too. Even if it was like complicated and heavy. I mean, the quality of, because I collected a lot of Gianfranco Ferré pieces for Dior, because I was collecting a lot of vintage clothes for many years, and I stopped. And the quality of the way it was done was super comfortable and super elegant. So, I mean, Lacroix, Ferré, and I would say Karl Lagerfeld, because this person was incredible.
Because it's Karl Lagerfeld.
I can't say I loved the collections, but the energy, his character, all the crazy things he could say. I mean, he was a cartoon, a fashion cartoon, and I love this energy.
No, it's true. I'm going to ask you the last question, but before I do, I want to do a little. So you said you were collecting vintage Gianfranco Ferré. Do you still have a collection of vintage pieces?
No, I sold everything like 10 years ago. Because I had so many like meter square of haute couture dresses.
And there's nothing left. You didn't keep any.
Ferré, Galliano, Lacroix, and Valentino. I was paying so much, and even a lot of 19th century pieces. I still have them, but this I have to go a bit in my archives in Lyon. But I sold all the contemporary ones. Because I thought it was stupid to keep that in boxes. It's better. And many times in auctions, when you sell, it's more like museums who buy the pieces when they're strong. So it's better to be in nice collections, and they will be exhibited. And
people can.
It's fun because I sold pieces to Dior too, which is like a joke. But
wow, full circle moment.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What do you love most about fashion?
It's a difficult question.
I know. That's why I save it to the end.
I mean, it's a freedom, and this is something I love. It's when you draw a collection, you have this possibility to be free in front of your page of paper or with your piece of fabric. It's a way to be free in a world which is not always very free, but I mean, it's freedom.
Alexis, merci beaucoup. This was amazing. Thank you so much.